Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of this organic molecule series. Today we're talking about lipids. Lipids include fats, oils, and waxes. Structurally, usually lipids consist of 3 fatty acids plus 1 glycerol, and that usually makes up a lipid. And usually, in terms of linear structure, they'll look like this. A hydrocarbon. Basically, remember that carbon is very versatile in the sense that it makes 4 bonds. Excuse me. And a hydrocarbon that'll go on. And then here we'll see an oxygen double bonded to carbon. And then here's your glycerol. This right side, right around here, is your glycerol, where you have an H, a hydrogen attached. And then it'll usually go down like this. And this at the end, this side right here, this is your glycerol. And right here, you'll have 3 fatty acids, which will line up like this. So there'll be another one down here, another one down here. And that's the basic structure of a lipid. Now that was a very cursory glance at the fatty acid and the glycerol molecules. So I'm going to go into a little more depth about both of those. So a glycerol is an alcohol, and the structure looks something like this. I know you saw it before, but I'm going to give it a little more detail. And so you have all these hydroxyl groups on the side, which make it an alcohol, as you learn about in chemistry, if you take it. So that's the basic structure of a glycerol. So you'll notice all this, right? So this will be on the right side of a lipid, as we saw before in the last drawing. So now let's talk about fatty acids. Fatty acid is a hydrocarbon chain. There's 3 fatty acids in a lipid. It's a hydrocarbon chain with a carboxyl group at one end. Fatty acids usually exist in 2 varieties, saturated and unsaturated. And it's very important to know the differences between those two. And it's one difference, and it's a small, subtle difference. So let me draw a saturated fatty acid. Usually it looks something like this: a long hydrocarbon that'll go on, and at the end you'll see a carbon which usually ends in the C hydroxyl group. There won't be a double bond right here, so there'll be another C. There won't be a double bond where this one is. It's just going to be a single bond, and that's what makes it saturated. This is your carboxyl group, so this is saturated. An unsaturated fat has a double bond in that area, so you'll see a hydrocarbon again. That'll go on. And then there'll be a double bond right here. And then we'll see the carboxyl group, as is in every fatty acid. And this is unsaturated. You should know the basic properties of both saturated and unsaturated fats. So I'll just say a little bit about saturated fats. Saturated fats come from animals. They're solid at room temperature, and they're linked to heart disease, so you don't want to eat a lot of saturated fats. They're usually bad ones. So unsaturated fats are usually talked about good fats. It's a kind of nebulous term, but it's definitely the better fat. The unsaturated fats are extracted from plants and have one double bond between the carbon atoms and in the hydrocarbon chain. They have fewer hydrogen atoms as well. So you'll see more hydrogen here, some more hydrogen here, and less over here. Let's talk function of lipids. Lipids serve many functions, but there are 3 that you certainly need to know for both exams. The first is energy storage. This is very important. Uh, we have to have a diet consisting of lipids for this very reason. It gives us energy to perform various activities throughout the day. Secondly, structural support. As we'll see later, lipids are a main part of plasma membranes, and they serve a very important role there. And lastly, they serve an important role in the endocrine system. Uh, Lipids can be hormones, and that's a very important thing to know. There's actually a question about this on the AP exam, on my AP exam, and it involved lipid acting as a hormone. And we'll talk a little bit about that later.